Okay, good morning. On this day, we come with Victoria Cortez, Ms. Victoria Cortez. This is the expert of renewable energy, and I talk about Discovery Project. Discovery Project consists that students give an interview with an expert, in this case, of renewable energy. Okay, the first question, it is an investigation found of the renewable energy. It's an energy that have a lot of advantage. In this case, in your opinion and your experience, what is the main disadvantage of this solar energy, of this type of energy?
Okay, if we need to talk about solar energy, there are two types of technologies that we can use that uses solar as a source of energy. These are the solar thermal energy and the solar photovoltaic energy. So depending on which one are the ones that you're interested is the question. For example, one of the most common and popular energies are the photovoltaics. There is a transformation of the solar radiation into electricity, and the other technology transforms all the solar radiation into heat. So both kinds of energy are integrated to different kinds of systems, even domestic or industrial. So I think that one of the most disadvantages are the models that how we are implementing the solar photovoltaic right now. For example, the solar parks. When you are using that amount of land just for energy generation, you're not taking into account the environmental impacts that are common along with these kinds of model. Because the use of the soil changes. There's a lot of impact on biodiversity, and also we need to talk about what are we going to do with that amount of solar panels on the future.
Okay, well, we know that Zamorano Solar Park installed that you say that don't take it easy the environmental impacts. In Solar Park Zamorano, which studies or investigation after apply the solar park?
Okay, we need to make some kind of research around the solar park in Zamorano, but most of the investigation is around its efficiency. And if, for example, the amount of energy that was a promise on the feasibility studies is the same amount that we are really generating, that the solar park is really in process to generate in real conditions. So we could have, for example, important differences, and this will be transported into an economical impact for the institution. For example, if you're generating less energy than the one that was expected, so all your economical analysis will be it will be affected, and you need, for example, you will need more time to recover the initial investment in order to accomplish the goals of the institution.
So, talking about efficiency, how is the right way of installation of the solar panel to have a better capture of the solar
Energy.
Okay. Regarding the efficiency of this kind of photovoltaic panels, I think that this is, among all these renewable energy technologies, this is one of the least effective. For example, it only has the ability to convert around 15 to 20 to 25% of the solar radiation into the kind of energy that we're looking for, that is the electricity. So there is a lot of research that has been done in order to improve this kind of efficiency, conversion efficiency. And also, okay, well, of course, that, and when you're planning, for example, a solar park, or when you're planning a solar project, and in order to have a better amount of energy, of course, you need to investigate a little bit about the solar radiation that is available in different zones. And in this latitude, because we're very close to Ecuador, that is the best latitude for solar radiation projects. In this latitude, we don't have any kind of problems regarding this amount of radiation, but we need to take care about the shadows that could be reflected on the panels. So we need to take care about the shadows, and of course, we need to take into consideration the temperature, the ambient temperature that we're going to have, the environmental temperature that we're going to have, because this could affect the performance of the entire park. For example, when you have a temperature such as the south part of Honduras, that it's 40 to 42 degrees, then the inverters and the rest of the system is not working in a better way. So it will give you less energy than the one that you're expecting, even if you have the highest amount of radiation, but it's because of the temperature. There is another variable that we need to take into account in order to have a better efficiency.
Yeah. So you say that the solar energy is not the most efficient renewable energy, but why we use this type of energy at Zamorano, for example? What other energy would be better here?
And here in Zamorano, okay, we do have a lot of biomass, for example, and wastes. So I think the biogas could be one of the best solutions for most of the resources that we have here. And we need a lot of heat also. We need to heat for water, for example. All the water for agro-industry is important. They need heat. So biogas is perfect for heating. You know, any kind of devices such as boilers, for example. We need to use, for example, this kind of fuel for pasteurization, for example. Also, we can use it as a pasteurization source. We can also transform this kind of fuel into electricity, but we need to make a little bit more design. It's not that easy as a solar park. This is the popularity of photovoltaic energy is because the price of this kind of technology has been just dropped down in a dramatic way. It's almost, like 20% of the original cost that this technology has like 5 years ago. So it's dramatic. And this is because China comes into the market. But also it's because it's suitable, for example, when you have, for example, an isolated community. The best kind of energy that you could give them is, for example, photovoltaic. It's modular, it's easy to install, it's in different ways. It's easy even to maintain. It's if you have somebody that can give some maintenance, local maintenance is important, and it's very easy, And you can see, for example, the solar park it has monitoring, but most of them it's remote monitoring. You can have, for example, a program where you can see how much energy it's giving you the park, and it's not the same way when you are working with other kinds of renewable energy technologies. You need to have a better the people that is leading the project needs to have a different education, their own abilities and skills.
Okay, talking more about the solar park of Zamorano, this supply 33% of the energy at Zamorano. In the future, can we expand the capacity?
Well, If you need to expand the capacity, first of all, or we need to implement an energy efficiency program in Zamorano so we could consume less energy, so you will have a better uh, the provision of the energy that comes from the park will be higher, but because you were consuming less inside campus, or you need to have an additional park. And I think that this is not, this is not my best. I think that it's not the best idea to use, for example, another hectare in another solar park. Maybe we can use the area that is available on the roofs, and I think that it will be less impact, than using a soil that could be used for additional things, such as forestry or crops or any kind of things, But if you can just measure the amount of area that is available on the different roofs all around Zamorano, maybe you will have an interesting project that could give in a local way the amount of energy that is needed for special devices. So it would be, I think, a better solution.
Well, to end this interview, we could talk about the different way of solar energy. For example, the solar thermal energy and also the photovoltaic solar energy. And also that we could see that there are other alternatives that we could have in Zamorano, like biomass or biogas also.
The voices.
Yeah. Well, in conclusion, I think that we think that the type of energy that we have here is not the only one. So we have a different alternative also to do in the future. Well, this is it. And we thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thanks to you, and I hope that you will be enjoying the renewable energy in the future,
Yes.
and that you will be promoting also the renewable energy, because this will be definitely a bridge to a sustainable energetic model that we're going to have in the future, and we need to have it now,
Yeah.
because we do have, right now, all of our development system is based on fossil fuels, multiple. And so we need to change that mentality. Fossil fuel is fossil thinking.
Okay.
So
Thank you very much.
bye bye.